Good morning, TikTok. Happy Monday. Welcome to this live coaching session. So I hosted my first group coaching session on Saturday. It was so much fun. Thank you so much to those of you that attended. I absolutely loved doing group coaching. However, today I'm back here on TikTok doing my live coaching sessions like I do every day at this time. So if you are feeling stuck in any area of your life, if you are having problems in any relationship with a partner, with a family member, with a friend, with a roommate, or if you're going through struggles with your career, trying to find a job that suits you, trying to make enough money, doing something that you enjoy, trying to figure out how to enjoy something, trying to figure out what you can do that you enjoy, any of these problems I can help you with. My husband is over there, so if you guys have health and fitness questions today, he can help you answer those as well. Hello, Gigi. Good morning. Oh, Antoine, you're here. I hope you're not going to be asking about those stupid balloons again. So I can do live coaching across any area of your life. And the way that I do it is by working on your emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is how we deal with our feelings. And working on your emotional intelligence will allow you to be in control of your feelings, of your emotions, and of your mood. So it's a really powerful tool for you to work on and for you to not perfect, because it can always be more perfect, but for you to have in your tool belt as you go through life. Having great emotional intelligence will allow you to choose your reaction to situations. Biceps. we get the odd bicep call out every week or so. Biceps. Interesting. I don't know what this is about. Anyway, so if you work on your emotional intelligence, how that's going to benefit you through your life is that when something happens to you in your experience, something that you might consider to be bad, for example, your car breaks down and it's going to cost a lot to repair, or you don't get into the university that you had planned on going to, or you don't get the job that you had planned on getting. This is where emotional intelligence can help you, because instead of just reacting to the situation like we do normally, we get mad, we get sad, we get frustrated, and it can affect our mood for a long time. It can affect the mood of people around us when we're angry and upset all the time. That has a knock-on effect with the people that live with us, with the people that share our space, the people that work with us, right? If you're angry and annoyed and sad all the time, then these people around you can feel it too. And so by working on your emotional intelligence, what you're able to do is, sorry, I'm just reading this comment. I have a breathing problem. What is your breathing problem, Antoine? So by working on your emotional intelligence, you're able to keep control of your emotions. You're able to choose if and when you feel sad. And you're able to choose how much energy you invest into something. So hello, Victoria. Let's take an example of if your car breaks down, okay? So you're driving to work, your car breaks down on the way. So first off, you're going to be late for work. You've got to get somebody to come fix your car. You don't know how long it's going to take. You don't know how much it's going to cost. And you start to stress out, right? You start to stress out. You can feel like you start breathing more rapidly. You're maybe making like frantic phone calls, calling people to see if they can come and help you. You're stuck in the road, right? So there's traffic coming, there's traffic, other cars honking their horns at you to get out of the way. You've got your hazard lights on, but you're just stuck there in the middle of the road. and you're freaking out, right? You're freaking out. Cars are honking their horns, you're in people's way, you're causing traffic jams, everybody's like driving past you shouting and screaming, get out of the road, and you're stuck there. The car won't move, you don't know what to do. Okay, so in this kind of situation, it's very normal. It's very normal to start freaking out and losing your mind, to scream or cry or call anybody you know just out of desperation, like, help me, tell me what to do, right? This is what people do. This is the reaction that people have normally. Sorry, I'm just going to grab some water because I forgot to get some before I got started, and now I'm talking a lot. People shaking their fist at you saying get off the road. That happened to me. That happens to me too, Jason. I will admit I am not an amazing driver. I'm a little bit of a nervous driver, and often I will like stall the car at a stoplight. So I have a manual car. Yes, it's manual. You have to move the gear stick, which means it stalls sometimes. So it's happened to me. I've stalled it at the lights. I've got people honking behind me, like, get out of the way, get out of the way. And I'm freaking out, like, oh my God, like I've stalled the car, trying to start it again, and it won't start again. Okay, so I think like a few of us have probably experienced this. And you don't know what to do. You get panicked, right? You get panicked. You get desperate. Come on, dog. She wants to learn. So working on your emotional intelligence can help you in situations like this, where you're starting to get panicked, you're starting to get stressed out, and you don't know what to do. And the way that it can help you is because it allows you to, oh, hello, Irene, welcome. Oh, how lovely to have you here. We're talking about emotional intelligence. So your car is broken down in the road, you're stuck, you're panicked, you don't know what to do, you're freaking out, you don't know who to call, cars are coming past you, rushing past you, shaking their fists at you, shouting at you, and you're like, oh my God, what do I do, right? This is how emotional intelligence can help you in a situation like that. You get to choose your reaction. So when you work on your emotional intelligence, you get to choose your reaction to any situation by noticing what your natural reaction is. So when something bad happens and you start to freak out, that's a subconscious reaction, right? You're subconsciously reacting to the fact your car's broken down because last time it happened, or when it happened to somebody else and they told you about it, it was really stressful, right? There's lots of noise going on with the honking of the cars. There's people in your face, there's people shaking their fists, there's people shouting at you, right? There's a lot going on, there's a lot of stimulation, and all of these things that are happening to you are triggering responses. They're triggering responses in you. So for some people, having lots of horns, honking, making loud noises may be very disorienting. For other people, they're going to notice the people shouting, like the people pleasers out there, they're going to be noticing that they're upsetting people because they're causing traffic jams and they're making people angry, right? Who else have we got? People that are not good with mechanics, right? People that don't know what's wrong with the car. The car just stopped. So like if my car stopped, I would have no idea. I wouldn't know if it was the engine or the boot or the wheels, right? No idea. So for me, I would probably be panicking more about, oh my God, what's wrong with the car? For people that have money problems, right? People that their car breaks down and they have money problems in their life, they're going to be thinking, get this fixed, right? So everybody's going to be reacting to all of these different scenarios. Some of them are going to be bothering you more than others, depending on what you've got going on in your life, depending on what your past experiences are, whether you're going to be freaking out about money, whether you're freaking out about time, getting to work, you're not going to be at work on time, maybe your boss is going to freak out, maybe it's a new job, right? Every person's going to be freaking out about different things, but you all are going to be you're going to have subconscious reactions to all of this stuff that's going on, right? With emotional intelligence, you get to control those reactions, okay? So let's take me for For example, let's say I have massive money problems, okay? I don't anymore, but I did. So let's say I have massive money problems and my car has broken down. So the thing that I'm really focused on first is, how much is this going to cost me? How much is it going to cost to get my car towed out of the road so I'm not blocking people? And then how much is it going to cost to get my car fixed? Now, I'm also a little bit of a people pleaser. So one of the other things that I'm going to be worried about is, what are people thinking of me? Like, I'm annoying everybody. I hate annoying people. I want people to like me. People are getting angry at me. So that's probably going to be the next thing on my mind. However, because I've been working on my emotional intelligence, I'm able to recognize these reactions when they come up. So with the money, I start thinking about, oh my God, how much is this going to cost me, right? And as my mind starts going down that route, I say to myself, hold on. I don't need to create all of these stories. I don't need to create all of this drama in my mind. Nothing has happened yet. The car's stopped. I don't know why. I don't know if I need to get it fixed. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't need to freak out about it when I have no idea what's going on. Okay? And what I could replace that thought with, so as my mind is starting to think about, oh no, how am I going to pay for this, I can pull it back and try and focus on something that doesn't make me freak out, right? I can think of, okay, well, I'm safe. The car just stopped. It's in the road. It could have been on a highway, it could have been on a roundabout, it could have been at a stoplight, but no, it's here, it's in the road, I'm safe, I'm alive, I'm not hurt. Right? And I can focus on that instead, rather than thinking to myself, how much is this going to cost? Because I don't know how much it's going to cost. Whatever I think about that is a story I've created, because I don't know the answer. And it's the same for the people pleasing, right? So I can see everybody getting really angry at me, right? They're getting mad. They're going to be late for work. I'm going to be late for work. I'm getting in their way. They're angry. And the people pleaser in me is like starting to freak out, like, oh my God, all these people are going to hate me. All these people are going to think that I'm a terrible driver. All these people are going to think this and that. With emotional intelligence, I can catch myself before that starts. And I can say to myself, hey, you have got no idea what those people are thinking. You've got no idea, right? They're shaking their fist at you. Okay. And you're interpreting that as them being mad. But what if they're only mad because like their kid is in hospital and they're really desperate to get there, and it's not about you. They're upset because their kid is in hospital, right? And they're trying to get there as fast as they can, and you've blocked the road. So they're not really mad at you. They're mad because they can't get to the hospital to see their kid. Or like imagine like I've caused a massive traffic jam behind me, right? There's people there I can't see. I'm assuming that they're all angry with me because I've stopped the traffic, but maybe they're not all angry. Maybe one of them was on their way to work and they really want to go to work today, so they're actually really grateful to have an excuse. They're going to message their boss and be like, there was an accident, I can't get to work, I'm going to be a couple of hours late. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for this accident because I'm just going to drive past it now, and then I'm going to take a little bit of extra time for myself. I'm going to go grab a coffee on the way to work because I already told my boss there was an accident, so I'm going to enjoy this morning a little bit more. I don't want to go to work yet, right? What if there's somebody that's just really concerned about me? They're saying prayers for me because they can't see ahead what's happened. They just know there's been an accident because they've stopped, and they're praying for me, right? They're wishing me good wishes. Okay, so I might be sat there hearing some horns, seeing some fists, thinking everybody's angry and about to freak out about it. But I do not know that everybody's angry, and probably everybody is not angry. There might be some angry people, there might not, right? So I can tell the people pleaser inside of me, hey, let's focus on the fact that you caused a bit of a delay to some of these people. They might be grateful for it because now they can stop and get a coffee on their way to work. And I can just think about that. Yeah, they might all be angry, Jason. They might be. But what's the point? This is the thing. What's the point in me assuming that they're all angry and getting upset myself about it when they might not be? They might be, they might not be. It doesn't make any difference in my life if they are or if they're not. All that matters is what I think about it. Because if I think they're all angry, I'm going to freak out. The people pleaser in me is not going to be happy. However, if I think that they're not all angry, then I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be like, okay, let's think about this calmly. What do I need to do? How do I get the car off the road? Because if I'm busy freaking out about how angry everybody is, I'm just going to be thinking of desperate things, right? I'm probably going to get out of the car and desperately try to push it off the road, which is not the safe thing to do. Whereas if I'm like calm and I think that the people behind me are all okay, then I'm going to call the roadside assistance, I'm going to tell them my location, and they're going to come and get me off the road safely, right? But if I'm freaking out, I'm going to do something unsafe. I could cause even more problems. I could get myself hurt. Whereas if I'm calm, I can make the calm decision and do the safe thing. And the reality of whether everybody is angry or everybody is not angry doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the reality is. I will never know the reality. I'm not going to go knock on all the car doors asking them if they're angry or not. And I can't trust that they will tell me the truth. Maybe they're fine, but they want to make a point, and so they tell me they're angry. I will never know if they're all angry or not, and it doesn't make the slightest bit of difference. The only thing that matters is what I think about it. Do I think they're all angry? And is that going to freak me out and cause me to act in a stupid way? Or do I think that they're all fine and I can just be calm and make a safe decision? So that's what emotional intelligence does. It gives you a break. It gives you a break between an experience and your reaction to it, so that you can decide, am I going to continue running this subconscious program? Am I going to continue telling myself this story that's causing me distress, that's causing me to act out of desperation? Or am I going to choose my response to the situation? Am I going to choose to keep my calm? Am I going to choose to observe what's going on around me and make a decision that's for my best and the best of everybody around me? Right? So that was a long rant. Anybody have any questions for me? Does anyone have any questions about how emotional intelligence can work in their lives? In your lives? You. So I've given an example, right? With a car breaking down. That's kind of a big thing, right? Like, cars don't break down that often. Well, some cars do. But cars don't break down so often. Emotional intelligence will help you in every aspect of your everyday life. Hello, Iverson. Emotional intelligence will help you in your everyday life for small things, big things. Jason, can you give an example relating to school? Yeah, sure. Okay. So let's think of an example related to school. Okay, so say you are at school and there's a class that you don't like. You have to take it because you need to get the credit to pass your degree, but you really hate it. Let's say it's the teacher. The teacher teaches in a really boring way. I remember some of my math teachers, my gosh, they were so dull. You would get into class and they would just start writing with chalk on a blackboard. Yes, I'm that old. They would start writing with chalk on a blackboard formulas, and we would just have to copy them out in silence. This was at university. Some teachers do not know how to teach, do not know how to engage students. Okay, so let's take that as an example. I hate this class. It was algebra. I hate this algebra class because the teacher is so dull. Okay, this is a problem that I had with school. So emotional intelligence can help you here, because you can choose your reaction. So at the moment, I'm thinking of this teacher as boring because of the way he teaches. He's just writing on the board. I'm not engaged. I'm not excited to learn. I fall asleep. Like, often I'm hungover in class and I'm falling asleep because it's really dull. I'm not learning, okay? I'm not learning, and I've got to pass this class to get my degree. So with emotional intelligence, I can recognize the fact that I'm telling myself a story that this class is boring. I'm telling myself this story. This class is boring. I don't enjoy it. I'm not engaged. And it's the teacher's fault. I'm blaming the teacher, right? and blaming the teacher. Oh, I got bitten by an ant on Friday on the palm of my hand, and it's still itchy. So I'm creating this story. This class is really boring. I have to do it. The teacher's really dull. I'm falling asleep. Hello, Melissa. Bom dia. So I can choose to change this story that I'm telling myself. So firstly, if I have to take the class, like this is a story, I have to take the class. Is there an option to change the class? Can I switch classes? Can I take a different class for extra credit? With algebra in a math degree, no. You have to do the algebra class. But if it's a supplementary subject, maybe you can change the class, right? That could be one way of dealing with the situation. Algebra is a core subject in math. I had to do it, right? I couldn't change the class. Could I change a teacher? Maybe. I didn't ask, but maybe. To make it more interesting for myself, right? If I can't, I'm stuck in the class, I'm stuck with that teacher, I've got to do it. Then I've got to find something that I like about it so that I can change this story of it's boring, it's dull, I'm not learning. I need to change this story, I need to change this perspective. So the way that I can do that is by changing my language, okay? And I can do that by finding something that I like. Like I like algebra as a subject. I liked learning about algebra. So instead of focusing on disliking the teacher, I can focus on liking the subject and try and find my interest within what is being taught, even though it's being taught in a really boring way, right? I can make it more interesting for myself by choosing the parts of it that I like, the actual algebra, and focusing on enjoying algebra rather than focus on not enjoying the teacher. So I changed my language. I have this algebra class, I really love algebra, right? Rather than I have this algebra class, I really hate my algebra teacher, he's so boring. I say, I really love algebra, okay? Change the language. And then when a teacher is not engaging, it can feel difficult to learn. But just because your teacher is not engaging, you got to engage yourself in the subject. Okay, to stay engaged, it's a two-way street. It's not just about your teacher. Sometimes it's easy because you have a great professor who can teach you in a way that is engaging. He can get you on board with the subject in the classroom and you can learn and you can love it. However, some teachers are not like that. Some teachers don't have that gift. Some teachers just don't have that care. And so you've got to find a way to engage yourself, right? So it's algebra, right? How do you engage yourself with algebra? I don't know. Go read some more about it. For me, actually, I love to learn about like how I can use algebra in real life, or how you can use algebra to explain like natural phenomenon and physics, like how it can relate to physics. So for me, I would go figure something out that I can learn by myself that I love about algebra. So next time I come back to class, I can relate what's going up on the board in a boring way to what I've learned out of class and bring enjoyment to it in that way. Okay? So that's the second step, taking some action to move towards your goal. And then the third step, of course, is to keep doing that. So it's always going to be the same framework with emotional intelligence. Change your, like you notice your reaction, you want to change it. So you change your language, take a small step in the right direction, take a large step in the right direction. Hello, Bizarreal. Welcome to the live. A presentation at school seminar, how not to be nervous at public speaking. Excellent question. I love this one. Okay, how not to be nervous at public speaking. So, firstly, there's always two routes you can go, okay? You can try and figure out why you're nervous and change your reaction, or you can just go straight to changing your reaction. So, if you want to go down the route of figuring out why you're nervous, okay? For me, I find it usually helps me change my reaction if I know why I'm doing it in the first place. Yes, I am British. Ryan. I'm British, but I live in Brazil. So, why are you nervous about public speaking? What do you think is going to happen? right? I think most people get nervous about public speaking because they're afraid they're going to say something wrong and everybody's going to laugh at them, right? Or they're going to trip over their feet or forget their words and everybody's going to laugh at them, right? Like, it's usually something about the people you're speaking to reacting to you in a way that causes you embarrassment is usually why people are afraid of public speaking. If it's something else, feel free to let me know in the comments. But usually it's this. And this will have come from your childhood. Perhaps when you were younger, you had to do some public speaking and it didn't go well and you became embarrassed and everybody laughed. Or perhaps you saw something on TV or a friend told you about a time they were public speaking and they said something wrong and everybody laughed at them and you thought to yourself, oh my God, I would hate if that was me, and the story stuck with you, right? So whether it was your experience or somebody else's experience or you saw it on TV or in a movie, you created, at the time you saw that, you created a story in your head of how awful it would be if you did something wrong and everybody was laughing at you. So that's the story that you need to change. The story is you think you're going to do something wrong and everybody's going to laugh at you, whatever the wrong thing is, right? So now that you've figured that out, or if you're going the other route and you're not figuring it out, you just change your reaction. So now you know, okay, this is what makes me nervous about public speaking. I'm afraid I'm going to do something wrong. And you know that that's coming from a story that you tell yourself, that you are telling yourself. If this happens, then everybody will laugh and I will feel embarrassed. Right? That's the language that we need to change. Because there is no guarantee. There is absolutely no guarantee that if you do something wrong, everybody would laugh at you. Nobody knows that. They may be really sympathetic. Like if you trip over your foot or your shoelace, then they may just be like, oh no, you know, like I feel bad for you. Or maybe they do feel bad for you and that's just as embarrassing to you as having them laugh at you. Some people are natural comedians. Like my son, he's a natural comedian. He loves making people laugh. If he tripped over on stage and everybody laughed at him, he would probably like laugh with them, be like, oh yeah, what an idiot. He'd probably like try and pretend to fall again, be like, look, I did it again. Because he loves making people laugh, right? So everybody tells themselves stories that are based on their own past experiences, but it doesn't need to be a bad thing. The stories that you tell yourself, they're not true. And the things that you think are going to happen afterwards that you're afraid of, they may or may not be true, but they don't have to be a bad thing. So, like that example, if you're afraid that everybody's going to laugh at you, pretend you're a comedian. Pretend you're a comedian. Pretend you're trying to make them laugh. Try and make them laugh. Because then if they laugh, you win. Try and make them laugh by being stupid. Like it's a school presentation, right? So you can't be too stupid. But you can try and elicit a laugh if what you're afraid of is that they might be laughing at you. If what you're afraid of is that you might say something wrong, then own it. Like, why does saying something wrong have to be a bad thing? You're in school. You're there to learn. You're not there to know everything. And everybody else doesn't know everything either. They're also all there to learn. And they're also all probably super nervous about having to do their own presentations. So you change the language to be positive language rather than negative language, right? And if you can't find something that you enjoy about public speaking, because the key is like helping yourself change your language and feel more positive about something. A tool to do that is to find something that you like about it. So with public speaking, okay, you don't like speaking in front of lots of people, but maybe you really enjoy the subject that you're talking about. Maybe you you're really passionate about the results that you found that you're presenting to people, and you're afraid of saying them. You're afraid of talking to lots of people, but you're really like keen to share the results that you got, right? So focus on the thing that you enjoy. And if you can't find anything that you enjoy about public speaking, then you can always appreciate the fact that you're getting to move out of your comfort zone. Because getting to move out of your comfort zone is a blessing. It's what life is all about. We are all put here on this earth with so much power, so much potential, so much possibility. And the only reason that we don't achieve our full potential is because we're busy telling ourselves stories like, I'm afraid of public speaking. We're busy telling ourselves stories of, I'm not good enough, I don't know enough, I don't have enough, I am not enough. And those stories that we tell ourselves, they're not true. They're not true. They're just stories. Those are the things that keep us small. I made a video about this the other day, about how we all live in a prison made of thoughts, made of our own thoughts, and we keep ourselves limited, we keep ourselves small. So by just embracing the fact that you get to move out of your comfort zone and do something that made you uncomfortable, then you're living. You're expanding, you're becoming a better version of you because you did it once. So the next time you have to do it, you're not going to be as nervous. You take that courage, you say to yourself, look, I did it once. I've already done it, so I know I can do it. I know I can do it. I'm going to do it again and again and again until that thing is in your comfort zone now. Now you move on to the next thing, which is talking on TV, right? You keep making yourself bigger. You keep growing. You keep becoming better by continuously moving out of your comfort zone. So if you can't find anything else to like about it, just focus on that. I'm growing. I'm smashing through one of my limiting beliefs. I'm unlimiting myself. I'm opening up so many more possibilities for myself by being able to speak publicly, and I can at least appreciate that. Hi Albatross, thank you. Beziril, emotional intelligence work with people with anxiety disorder. Absolutely. Emotional intelligence covers everything. Anxiety disorders, any kind of disorders, mental health issues, physical health issues, anything. What happens if you can't change your language? You can always change your language. You can always change your language. You choose what comes out of your mouth. Now, perhaps what you meant to ask is, what if you can't change your thoughts, right? Because you can control your thoughts, but it takes a bit of practice. It takes a lot of meditation. It takes a lot of focus. Like, not many people can control all of their thoughts, okay? It's like, not me. Thoughts come whether we want them to or not. And when the thoughts that we don't want come, we have to choose to just let them move through our head and not invest any energy into them. Because when a thought's moving through your head, you kind of choose which ones to grab onto, right? You choose which ones to think more about. So when I'm sitting in the car because the car broke down, I'm stuck in the middle of the road and I've got thoughts running through my head of, I'm making people angry. How much is this going to cost? I'm blocking traffic. How do I fix the car? How do I get the car out of the road? Who do I call? And all of these thoughts are coming past super, super fast. And you choose which ones. I got a heart. Hello. Good morning. You choose which ones you're then going to focus your energy on, right? And you choose the thoughts you focus your energy on by what triggers you, by your past experience. So if I get a thought past my mind of how am I going to fix the car, I'm just going to let that one go because I know I'm not fixing the car. I don't know how to fix cars. That one's just going to go, right? The fact that I'm making other people late for work, I'm not so bothered about that. I don't really care. I'm thinking to myself, they're going to enjoy having an excuse to make them late for work. However, when the thought of you're making people angry comes by, I'm like, oh, I'm making people angry. Like, I'm grabbing onto that thought because I don't like it, right? Oh, I'm making people angry. Oh no, they're not going to like me. Oh no, everyone's going to hate me. Oh no, they're all going to make Instagram stories of me and show me on Instagram, blocking everybody's way, right? I'm going to grab that thought because that thought gives me feelings. That thought is true for me. The ones that are not true for me, I'm just going to let them go. So Jason, the point is, you get to choose which ones you put your energy into, and emotional intelligence will allow you to choose being, what's the word? To choose conscious, that's not the word I wanted, but to choose consciously rather than to choose subconsciously, because normally our subconscious programs are running us. Our subconscious programs of fear, anger, guilt, betrayal, blame, all of these programs are controlling us. But with emotional intelligence, you're like, no, I'm not buying into that one. I'm not buying into that one. Oh, I'm giving people an excuse to be late for work. Yeah, I like that thought. Okay, yep, I'll invest more energy into that thought. And oh, I'm safe. I didn't die. Okay, yep, I like that thought. I'll invest more energy into that thought. So you can choose. You can't change your thoughts necessarily unless you're very well practiced, but you can choose which thoughts you give energy to. And when you do that, your language will naturally change. Your language will naturally change. You can always control your language, because you can also always choose to just shut up, right? And just not speak. Silence is a choice too. So you can always change your language because you always have the option of not speaking. Alrighty, boys and girls. Do we have any more questions? What's this one? Dá uma sugestão de café de manhã saudável e diferente. Starslicks, açaí. Vocês não comem açaí para café de manhã aqui, mas em Austrália, muitas pessoas comem isso para café de manhã. É delícia para isso. There you go. Saudável e diferente. Diferente para brasileiros, né? My dog is so cute. Yes, this is Cherry. She likes to get involved and then she generally just goes to sleep here. Thank you for the rose, Isaac. Most appreciated. We have 5 more minutes, ladies and gents. So shiny. Antoine, I do not know the inflatable balloon breathing exercise. I'm sorry. I almost feel like I actually want to go away and research it just so that I can give you a different answer next time, because you are on my lives all the time. But I still don't know what it is. Right, so somebody gave a topic earlier, so I might just spend the last 5 minutes talking about Bizarril was you, people with anxiety disorder. So let's talk just for 5 minutes about that, and then I need to go. So people with anxiety disorders, it's the same process. Firstly, do you want to choose to figure out where the anxiety comes from? If you do, anxiety, as with all of the stories that we tell ourselves, comes from something in your childhood. Also, a lot of people self-diagnose anxiety, right? They diagnose themselves. They don't go to a doctor to get diagnosed with social anxiety. They tell themselves they have it, right? So you probably heard this phrase, social anxiety, and you thought, yeah, that sounds like what I have, right? So you told yourself you have social anxiety. I'm not sure if it's you or if it's a friend or a family member, but just apply this to whoever. So social anxiety is a self-diagnosed condition most of the time, okay? And you have absolutely no idea if you have social anxiety or not. Okay, you told yourself you have it. However, you don't know if you have it or not. It's not been diagnosed by a doctor. It might have been diagnosed by a friend or a family member. And where did they get their information from? From the internet, from other people. What even is social anxiety? Like, what even is it? It's a condition, okay? It's a condition that people tell themselves they have all the time. Do doctors ever diagnose social anxiety? I feel like maybe it's it goes along with something else, right? Like when you're afraid, when you have what's it called? Agoraphobia, right? When you're afraid of going into large spaces. Maybe if you have agoraphobia, then one of the symptoms or the side effects of that is having social anxiety. I don't think that normal people have social anxiety. I think they give it to themselves. Anyway, where did your social anxiety come from, okay? Why do you think you have it? Change your language. First step is always change your language. Stop telling yourself you have social anxiety. Stop diagnosing this within yourself. And don't go to a doctor looking for a diagnosis either. Choose to believe you don't have it. Choose to say, I don't have social anxiety. Okay? Change your language. Now, you may get particular feelings when you are in social situations, and this may be why you think you have social anxiety. Okay? So what are those feelings? Focus in on the feelings rather than your label of the feeling or your judgment of the feeling. Focus in on the feelings. When you go into a social situation that makes you anxious, what is that anxiety? What are you feeling? Do you start breathing quicker? Right? Taking short, shallow breaths? Does your skin start to heat up and you start to get a red face? What's going on in your body? What feelings are you having in that socially anxious situation? Okay? And then take yourself out. Become the observer. Take yourself out. This is real. So you are your consciousness, right? You are your consciousness. You are in this body. Your consciousness is in your body, okay? But your consciousness is not just your body. Your consciousness is you in your body. Your body is the tool that you use to sense what's going on around you, okay? To move around, to see stuff. That's what your body is for. Your consciousness is not your body. So take note of what's happening in your body, okay? And be the observer. Be the observer. Like, if that doesn't make sense to you, this is a phrase that's kind of said on spiritual talk all the time, but if it doesn't make sense to you, tell me. I'll go into a bit more detail about becoming the observer. But when you become the observer, you're just witnessing the feelings in your body. So you're witnessing the racing heart, the shallow breaths, the hot face. It's not you, it's your body. Hello, Persian kittens, welcome. I'm just about to close down. I'm just answering one last question. You caught me at the end. So observe the feelings that are moving through your body. Become the observer of the feelings. I am not my body. I am the one that is witnessing what is happening to my body. Okay? And remove the label social anxiety. These are just feelings. This is shortness of breath. This is a racing heart. This is a hot face. This is not social anxiety. This is these physical things, these physical feelings, okay? Become the observer of the physical feelings and allow them to move through you. Continue to feel them and allow them to move through you. And once they have... You're coming on Sunday to Brazil? Yay! The weather is so nice. Well, not in Rio Grande do Sul, but here where I live, the weather is so nice. Sorry, that was not a funny joke. They are really struggling in Rio Grande do Sul. They've had a lot of rain there. If you haven't heard, my thoughts and prayers go to everybody there. It is a shocking situation. Like, cities have just been wiped out. So I absolutely did not mean to diminish the importance of that with what I just said. Anyway, yes, witness the feelings, become the observer, and then take a step in the right direction. Right, that's the second step. So first step is change the language, stop saying you're socially anxious. Next step is take a step in the right direction. When you do that, witness the feelings, become the observer, choose your reaction. How do I react to these feelings? Okay, my face is hot, my heart is racing, my breath is shallow. So take deeper breaths. Try and calm yourself. Take some deep breaths. Become present. I'm safe. I am fine. And then go talk to somebody. Take a step in the right direction. Go make yourself a little bit socially anxious, okay? And just observe what happens. Observe how you deal with it. Observe what your body does. It's not you, it's your body. And then after you've done that, keep doing that until it's not a problem anymore. 3-step problem solver. You can see my 3-step problem solver in my Circle community. It is a pinned post at the top. So I'm going to close the live down now. You can head over to my Circle community. The link is in my bio. It's free to join. We just did our first group coaching session on Saturday. It was so good. So when you're new to my Circle community, you can create an introduction post in the introduce yourself section. And I will be going through the post every month and choosing 3 people for a complimentary welcome group coaching session. Okay, the first one was on Saturday. It was amazing. The next one will be in about 4 weeks at the end of May. And I can't wait. So go do that. You'll find my 3-step problem solver there. You'll also see it pinned to the top of my Instagram. So you can go follow me on Instagram, Eleanor_Mayreles. There's a video pinned to the top, the 3-step problem solver, which will walk you through how to do that. First step, change your language. Second step, take a step in the right direction. Third step, keep doing that till it's not a problem anymore. Okay, I will be back same time tomorrow. Can't wait to see you guys then. I'm recording an interview this afternoon for a TV documentary in the US. So I'm really excited about that. That's why I've got my hair done and makeup on. So yeah, wish me luck. I'll tell you how it went tomorrow. Bye-bye.